Autumn had painted the city in shades of gold and amber, and for Min and Vi, it was the color of a new beginning. They were officially a couple, a reality that still felt like a sweet, shy dream. Every glance was filled with unspoken affection, every shared moment a quiet promise. But this new happiness cast a long shadow, and that shadow was named Hong. Hong had become a ghost in their lives. In the hallways at school, he'd offer a tight-lipped smile that never reached his eyes. He'd laugh with other friends, acting as if nothing had changed. Yet he masterfully avoided any chance of being alone with Min. The easy friendship they once shared was gone, replaced by a polite, painful distance. Min's heart ached for his friend. He missed their inside jokes, their late-night gaming sessions, the effortless camaraderie. He tried to bridge the gap, suggesting they hang out like old times, but Hong always had an excuse. "I'm busy," he'd say, his tone leaving no room for argument. Vi saw the rift between them and a heavy sense of guilt settled over her. She couldn't shake the feeling that her happiness was the direct cause of Hong's pain. "Is this my fault?" she whispered to my one afternoon, her voice trembling. My, ever the pragmatic one, shook her head firmly. "Vi, listen to me. You can't control how other people feel. Hong's feelings are his to manage, not yours. You didn't do anything wrong by following your heart." Mai's words were a small comfort, but the guilt lingered. Determined to focus on their new relationship, Min planned their first official date. It was supposed to be perfect, a romantic walk through a park famous for its autumn foliage, followed by a cozy cafe. But perfection, it seemed, was not on the agenda. First, Min got them lost on the way to the park, taking a shortcut that led them in a scenic but very wrong circle. Then, just as they were about to enjoy a beautiful sunset, a flock of pigeons descended, mistaking their bag of snacks for an open invitation. And at the cafe, the waiter, in a clumsy moment, spilled a little coffee right onto Min's new white shirt. Instead of frustration, they found themselves laughing. Leaning against each other on a park bench, the coffee stain a dark mark on Min's shirt, they realized none of the mishaps mattered. All that mattered was that they were together. The laughter was easy and genuine, washing away the awkwardness of the day. Min, feeling a surge of affection, pulled out his camera. "Stay right there," he said softly, his eyes full of adoration. He captured Vi as she was, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. Her hair catching the breeze, her smile genuine and radiant. For Min, she was the most beautiful work of art. Later that evening, Min posted one of the photos online with a simple caption, "My autumn." Miles away, Hong scrolled through his feed. He saw the picture. He saw V's happy, unguarded smile. He saw the love in the way the photo was taken. A bittersweet smile touched his lips as he liked the post. It was a small, silent acknowledgement, a final surrender. He closed his phone and stared out his window, the city lights blurring through unshed tears. A few days later, the fragile peace was shattered. The news came in a frantic phone call. Hong had been in a motorcycle accident. It wasn't serious, just a minor collision that left him with a sprained wrist and some nasty scrapes. But the word accident sent a bolt of pure panic through Vi. She dropped everything and rushed to the hospital, Min right behind her. When they arrived, Min watched as Vi hurried to Hong's bedside, her face etched with a worry so profound it stunned him. He saw her gently check Hong's bandages, her voice soft with concern as she asked him if he was in pain. In that moment, a cold, unfamiliar feeling crept into Min's heart. Jealousy. It was a sharp, bitter sting. He knew Hong and Vi were friends, but the depth of her worry felt like something more. He stood back, a silent observer, feeling like an outsider to a connection he couldn't fully understand. Later, as they walked down the sterile hospital corridor to get some water, Vi must have sensed his unease. She stopped and turned to him. "Min, I was just so scared. He's still my friend, you know? I couldn't bear it if something terrible happened to him." Her explanation was simple, her eyes honest. Min looked at her, and the knot of jealousy in his stomach loosened, but it didn't disappear entirely. A small seed of insecurity had been planted. He took her hand, his grip a little tighter than usual. "I know," he said, trying to make his voice sound more confident than he felt. Back in the room, Hong was awake, and already trying to make light of the situation. Seeing them walk in together, he managed a weak grin. He joked, his voice a bit raspy. Look at you two, hovering over me like a worried married couple. The words hung in the air. Vi and Min both blushed, a wave of awkwardness washing over them. They mumbled denials, but the image was planted. For Hong, the joke was a shard of glass in his own heart. He had meant to ease the tension, but all he did was highlight what he could never have. He smiled through the internal silence, dying a little inside. It was Vi who broke the silence. She looked from Hong's pained smile to Min's tense posture and made a decision. Let's go back, she said softly, looking between them. Let's go back to how we were, the three of us, as friends. It was a plea, a hope for a future where they could all coexist without this suffocating tension. Hong's smile became even more forced, but he nodded. Yeah, he agreed, the single word costing him everything. Friends. As they left the hospital, Min's hand found Vi's again, his fingers lacing through hers. The gesture was no longer just affectionate. It was protective, possessive. Vi felt the change in his grip. She looked at their joined hands, then at the path ahead. The road to their happiness was not going to be easy. It was tangled with the feelings of others, with guilt and insecurity. But looking at Min, she knew. She knew this love was something precious, something worth fighting for. She had to protect it, not just from outside forces, but from the shadows within their own hearts. The autumn leaves continued to fall, signaling an end, but for them, it was a signal to hold on even tighter.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the next chapter of their story.